What up, guys? So today's question comes from Aaron, who has, it's one of the more annoying things that you'll experience, and I don't have a good snappy name or title for this type of person in Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe you guys could like chime in as I tell you the story and give me like a good title that we can refer to these type of people as. But Aaron is a blue belt in Jiu-Jitsu, has an extensive Judo background, and when he trains in his gym, he does pretty well. He punches above his skill level, or his belt level, so to speak, because of his background in Judo, and he taps a lot of guys that are higher belted than him, but he also will get tapped out by lots of other people, and so he's right in the thick of things, right? Anyway, here's what's going on. With him in his gym, sometimes he rolls with his purple belt, and he will put the purple belt into a compromised position. He'll have a submission or whatever it is on the person, and then the purple belt will stop him, and he'll say something like, hey man, we need to really get this submission dialed in, okay? So here's what you need to do. Let me teach you the mechanics of how to do this, that, whatever. And so every time he gets a submission on the guy, he stops him and teaches him, and afterwards they get back up and they start rolling like a reset. But the guy's not tapping, and he's doing it every time. And so, you know, he's frustrated. He's like, try to talk to him, but he's like, man, what is going on, right? And he sends me the message basically asking, have I ever had someone do this to me? And if so, how did I deal with it? So, brother, thank you for the question. So check this out, man. I've had this happen twice, and it's a very strange thing, and it is annoying. The first time was when I was a white belt. I was rolling at a gym during an open mat, and I was rolling with this big blue belt. And I was, 19 years old at the time, and this guy, I think, was probably in his late 30s, big fella. And I remember the first time he did it to me. I got to mount, and I put a key lock on. I'm pressing down and applying the Americana. And again, just like your situation, he stops me and says, okay, man, here's what you need to do. And I'm thinking like, what I need to do? I was like, you're getting submitted right now. You need to escape, right? And so he shows me how to apply the Americana, which I already knew at the time, but whatever, just kind of going along for the ride. And then we get up and we roll again, right? We reset. He never tapped, he just showed me, then we reset. Then we get going again. I get him in another position. This time I think it was a Kimura, right? So I'm going for the Kimura, and then he stops me again. And he says, hey man, here's what you need to do, right? Now, in my younger age, I probably didn't speak up or anything. I was just like, okay. And I just made sure not to roll with that dude again, right? Later on, when I was a purple belt, I was at this gym, and I was rolling with a Brazilian black belt who trained here at this gym for a while. And I remember the language barrier was pretty thick, right? It was pretty hard, and we couldn't speak directly to each other. He spoke broken English, and I spoke absolutely no Portuguese. And so we're going, though, and, you can roll with people, and that's not that big of a deal. Well, he looked like a tough guy, so I wanted to roll with him and test myself, and I was only a little bit bigger than him. Well, the first time we rolled together, I remember I went in and got a double leg takedown, took him down, and I'm passing the guard. I'm really trying to pass his guard because I want to test myself against a tough, black belt, right? That's my thinking. And I remember he stops the round. As soon as I'm getting ready for this pass, I'm like getting through there, I'm going to side control, and he stops the round. He goes, Chewy, Chewy, Chewy. You two, be more, pats me on the shoulder, gets up, walks off. I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Aren't we still rolling? The clock's still going. And so then afterwards, we rolled with each other about a month later, our last time rolling. And I remember I was getting in tight for a butterfly guard pass. And like, as I'm passing around from the side, he like has like it's not I don't know what it was supposed to be, but he has like an overhook. He's just holding it. And then he goes, like makes that click noise. Like, I guess like he was going to rip my arm or something, which wasn't the case. And he goes, and then he says, Jiu-Jitsu, my Jiu-Jitsu, the best. Pats me on the shoulder, gets off, walks off. I'm like, what? Like, you just stopped us again? Like, it was so weird. And so I stopped rolling with him. I was just like, I don't want to deal with this, right? And so for your situation, I haven't had it as a black belt, so can't address it from that, but I have had it as a blue and a purple belt, right? And looking back on it, if I had someone in my gym that I was rolling with consistently that was doing this with me, what I would probably do now, and what I do now, if let's sort of go back a little bit, if I have someone that's doing something that I don't want to deal with, which is usually, it's very rare at this point because the gym here has a great culture, but if I'm traveling or something and someone's doing something a little crazy, I'll just bring attention to whatever it is I don't like, and a lot of times it's more of like them doing something that's unsafe, and then if they for some reason don't stop, then I'll just decline to roll with them, right? But again, just address the elephant in the room. If the guy's doing something and you don't like it, you're not angry about it. You're not upset about it. You're not speaking to this person with any malice. You're just like, hey bro, I don't want to be lectured during it, or I don't want to go over the mechanics of this stuff while I'm training with you. Why don't you just show me right after we're done rolling? We'll just roll, and then afterwards, if you see something that maybe could help me out, just show me after we're done, right? I mean, I do that all the time with people, and people do it with me. Like some of my training partners, they'll give me some feedback on the roll like after it's over, right? Once we're done. And again, then if he does not comply to that and continues to want to like talk to you as you're you're submitting him or whatever, then just decline to roll. And then if he asks, you just tell him like, hey man, I don't like that, right? I want to roll when I'm rolling, and I don't want to go over the mechanics of something while I'm actually applying it to you. I just want to try it. We can talk about the mechanics later, right? But again, that's what I would do. I would just address the elephant in the room, talk about it, air it out, and then again, if for some reason he doesn't, want to do that, then you just draw a boundary and say, I just want to decline the roll. I don't know if your gym has any issues with that. Declining a roll, most gyms don't, but if for some reason they do, you always just talk to your coach and let them know what's up, and that'd be that. Aaron, hopefully that helps you with your situation, and for anyone else, if you're having that kind of annoying situation, hopefully it helps you. And anybody, if you're curious, if you have a thought on this, if you have a name for that type of person, the person that stops the submission, stops the offense of the other person to lecture them about how to finish things or whatever, if you have a good name for that, put it down below. Whoever gives me the best name for it, I'll send you guys something free, whatever it might be. But we'll do that. We'll have fun, kind of like a contest with it. So anyway, that's that, guys. I'll talk to you next time.